I want two.
The Sekonic Pro-Digi Color C-500 is the first and only color meter that measures color temperature for both film and digital. And as a photographer, I want to get it right the first time and send the images off to my client and be done with it. I don't want to spend hours and hours behind a computer fixing a mistake that I could have avoided when I was shooting the job. Well, I started in photography about 20 years ago, and I started off really getting involved in darkroom photography, where I really got my education in exposure and color balance. You know, with the advent of digital photography now, everyone thinks photography is so much easier. You just push the button and out comes this beautiful image from the computer, but nothing could be further from the truth. You know, some of the challenges, most of the challenges that photographers experience when they were shooting film still exist today in digital. So we really need to be educated on all the different tools and techniques to get that ultimate image. And Sekonic has developed two important tools that assist today's photographers, whether you're shooting film or digital, to get those perfect images. The first is a really good exposure meter. They've developed the first exposure meter that's both for film and digital. It's called the L758DR Digital Master. I love that meter. The other is brand new, just was released. It's called the Pro-Digi Color C-500 series, and it also is for film and digital. With these two tools in your pocket, you will be a champion photographer. Photographers have always wanted to get colors to reproduce exactly as they see them. That's been the challenge since the inception of color. The problem with yesterday's tools is that color meters were designed to respond the way that film does. Unfortunately, these tools have little or no use for a digital shooter. So we really need something that sees light exactly like digital does, sees the color of light exactly like digital does. That's why this new Sekonic Pro-Digi Color is so cool. It looks at the color exactly the same way as our eyes and digital. It's the visual spectrum that these meters measure. And with that tool now, I can simply measure the lights, balance them, correct them, plug the information into my digital camera, and I'm ready to go. It's important to make sure the film that you select or the digital camera that you're using matches the color temperature of the light source, whether that's artificial or ambient. With digital, it's a little bit different. You have a couple of choices. The most common choice is auto white balance. It's okay for snapshots and things of that nature. Then the other thing that you can use is presets. This is where you can select flash photography or shadows or ambient or sunny. So presets are quick and dirty, but they certainly are not the holy grail. The best way to set your digital camera for color temperature is to use the Kelvin or the K setting in your camera. And most pro digital cameras have this setting built in. Now, the most accurate way to get this information that you plug into your digital camera is a color meter. The color meter that I use, of course, is the Sekonic Pro-Digi Color. I use my color meter to measure the light sources. I take that Kelvin number, plug it right into my digital camera, and now my digital camera is going to capture the most realistic, true colors that are in the scene so that I get the optimum results that I'm looking for and I demand. It's the first meter in the world to incorporate two very cool features. It's the first color meter that's designed to measure color temperature for film and digital cameras. How does it do it? It has 4 unique sensors in it. There are 2 red filters or red sensors inside the Pro-Digi Color. One is a red digital filter and the other is a red film filter. So depending upon what you're selecting, film or digital, it employs either the digital red or the film red. The other 2 filters, the blue and the green, also switch over depending upon whether you're measuring for digital or film. Sekonic is the only company that makes a color meter that has these 4 specialized sensors built in. And the second thing that's really cool is it's the first color meter that has wireless triggering built in. It works with the Pocket Wizard radio triggering system. This allows you to trigger strobes wirelessly without having to be connected with any kind of cables or PCs and things of that nature. And it also allows you to selectively pick which strobes you want to fire through its quad triggering control. This is of particular importance because it allows you to measure each light source for its color temperature individually so that other light sources don't interfere with the measuring accuracy. The Seconik Pro DigiColor also has an illuminance mode in it that allows you to measure the amount of incident light falling on a subject. This is great for a cine video photographer because it gives you readings in either foot candles or lux. There are situations when our light sources are just not going to match. Sometimes they can be too warm, sometimes they can be too cold. The Pro DigiColor allows us to identify which lights are not color balanced, and it offers us corrections to make them balance. Once we take the measurements, the Pro Digi offers the filter packs that are necessary to balance the light sources. To demonstrate how the color varies in a more clinical approach, we've taken a Macbeth color checker chart and exposed it under both quartz halogen, fluorescent, and balanced flash. Using programs like Photoshop, we can go into each of the color layers and compare what they are with what they should be to demonstrate how the color of light affects the color of an image.